Goodwill brings to you the weekly updates in the stock market for final week of November. Punjab National Bank gets Department of Investment and Public Asset Management approval for stake sale in UTI AMC. The public sector lender has received approval of DIPAM, Ministry of Finance, for divestment of stake in UTI Asset Management Company in single or multiple tranches. As of now, PNB holds 15.22% stake in UTI AMC. The objective is to realize gain on investment. The banking stock has moved up more than 15% this week. The stock has been trading at its 52-week high this week. As we can see in the charts, a big green candle has been formed in the weekly timeframe, justifying more strength. We can expect a similar move next week given the strength in the stock. Hariom Pipe Industries completes setting up a 15-ton electric melting furnace. The company has completed the setting up of its 15-ton electric melting furnace, and the commercial production from the same will commence from November 25, 2022. The stock has moved up more than 15% this week. The stock has been trading at its 52-week high this week. The news was taken as a positive sign in the market. As we can see in the charts, a big green candle has been formed in the weekly timeframe, justifying more strength. We can expect a similar move next week given the strength in the stock. Tube Investments of India to pick 50% stake in startup X2 Fuels and Energy. The auto ancillary company will pick 50% stake in X2 Fuels and Energy, a startup company engaged in developing processes to convert waste to liquid and solid fuels, for 6.15 crore rupees. WF Asian Smaller Companies Fund buys 1.5% equity stake in Policy Bazaar operator. Hedge fund WF Asian Smaller Companies Fund bought 67.75 lakh shares in Policy Bazaar operator via open market transactions, which is 1.5% of total paid-up equity. The effect of this news was highly positive in the market. Bulk deal was highly appreciated by the market as the stock has jumped more than 13% in this week. As we can see in the weekly timeframe, a big green candle has been formed, justifying strength in the market. We can expect a similar move in the next week as we can see trend reversal in the stock for this week. Loris Labs picks 26% stake in Ethan Energy India for solar energy. The company has entered into share subscription agreement and shareholders agreement with Ethan Energy India for buying 26% stake in Ethan Energy India. Cummins India appoints Bonnie Jean Fetch as additional director on the board. The company has appointed Bonnie Jean Fetch as an additional director, non-executive and non-independent, on the board. The appointment is subject to the approval of members of the company. Capri Global Holdings picks 1.58% stake in Fino Payments Bank. Investor Capri Global Holdings has picked 1.58% stake or 13.19 lakh shares in Fino Payments Bank via open market transactions. These shares were bought at an average price of 228.77 rupees per share. Veranda Learning Solutions partners with IIM Raipur and SHRM to launch online MBA. IIM Raipur is collaborating with Veranda Learning Solutions and the Society for Human Resource Management to launch an executive postgraduate program in HR management. Indigo on Wednesday launched flight services to Portugal and Switzerland via Istanbul under its codeshare partnership with Turkish Airlines. These new routes and frequencies are effective from November 23. The effect of the news was positive in the stock. Stock has jumped around 7% in this week. As we can see in the weekly timeframe, a big green candle has been formed, justifying strength in the stock. HG Infra Engineering receives appointed date letter from Adani Road Transport for road project in Uttar Pradesh. The company has received a letter from Adani Road Transport regarding declaration of appointed date as November 3 by Authority for Project in Uttar Pradesh. Life Insurance Corporation of India offloads 2% stake in HEG. Life Insurance Corporation of India has offloaded more than 2% equity stake or 7.76 lakh shares in HEG via open market transactions. With this, LIC reduced its shareholding in the company to 4.84% from 6.85% earlier. State Bank of India Chairman Dinesh Kumar Kara on Wednesday exuded confidence that the country's largest lender will be able to maintain its performance on the asset quality side even amid the high loan growth. Telecom equipment maker HFCL Limited is planning to sell Wi-Fi access point routers directly to consumers starting from the April-June quarter of financial year 24, which will be the business-to-business provider's entry into the consumer segment. General Atlantic Singapore Fund offloads 15.12% stake in IIFL Wealth Management. Investor General Atlantic Singapore Fund Pte. Limited sold 15.12% stake in the company via off-market transactions on November 22. With this, General Atlantic's shareholding in the company reduced to 5.84% from 20.96% earlier. MIC Electronics has received tender for supply, installation, testing, commissioning and comprehensive annual maintenance contract of telecom material at railway stations in Madhya Pradesh. The value of the said tender is 2.02 crore rupees. Adani Group's open offer to acquire an additional 26% stake in the media firm from the market to start from November 22 and will close on December 5. The price band for the offer has been fixed at 294 rupees per share. Private equity firm Lighthouse India will sell stake worth 320 crore rupees in Nykaa, the owner of beauty e-retailer Nykaa, through a block deal. The shares would be offered at a price of around 180 to 183.5 rupees apiece. The effect of the news was negative as the markets were angry with this block deal. Stock has slipped down 4.84% in this week. As we can see in the daily charts, a big red candle has been formed justifying weakness in the stock. We can expect downtrend in the next week as well in this stock. The National Company Law Tribunal on Monday gave its approval to Reliance Jio subsidiary Reliance Projects and Property Management Services for the acquisition of Reliance Infratel, which owns tower and fiber assets of Reliance Communications. Bharti Airtel has increased the price of its minimum recharge mobile plan in Haryana and Odisha. As listed on the company's website, the price of the minimum monthly recharge plan has grown by about 57% to 155 rupees in both states. Quant Money Managers acquired 6.5 lakh equity shares in Archean Chemical Industries at an average price of 452.59 rupees per share. The effect of the news was positive in the market. Stock jumped more than 15% in this week. Markets were very happy with this deal. As we can see in the weekly charts, a big green candle has been formed in the chart signifying positive momentum in the stock. Outlook for the stock is positive for the next week. Trend will remain positive for next week. JK Paper entered into share purchase and shareholders agreements for the acquisition of 85% shares of Horizon Packs and Secura Packs Packaging. The balance 15% stake will be bought within a period of 3 years as per the respective SPSHAs. Kotak Mahindra Mutual Fund bought an additional 63,179 equity shares in Blue Star through open market transactions on November 17. With this, Kotak AMC increased its stake in Blue Star to 5.045% from 4.979% earlier. Hindustan Motors has entered into a memorandum of understanding to extend the electric vehicle domain across the border to enhance the production of eco-friendly electric vehicle. The introduction of electric vehicles into the market has given a boost to this stock. Stock has jumped around 20% in this week. As we can see in the weekly time frame, stock is in ultra-bullish trend. We can expect a similar move next week. MBL Infrastructure has received arbitration award for its residential project in Delhi. The Learned Arbitral Tribunal passed an award in favor of the company against Public Works Department, Delhi for a residential complex project in Delhi for 9.29 crore rupees plus interest at the rate of 10% per year payable from November 22, 2022, if not paid within 90 days. Vedanta said its board of directors has approved a third interim dividend of 17.50 rupees per share on a face value of 1 rupee per share for financial year 23. The dividend is worth 6,505 crore rupees. The record date for payment of dividend has been fixed as November 30th. Adani Enterprises Limited is considering issuing at least $1.8 billion in new shares, according to people familiar with the matter. The conglomerate is working with advisors on the follow-on issue and could sell the shares as soon as next year, the people said, asking not to be identified as the information is private. Talking about the market movers, we have Concord Control Systems has moved up by 46.62% this week with a change of 90.9 points. It is traded with a net volume of 630,000 shares. The share is currently trading at the price level of 285.9 against the previous closing price of 195. BSL has moved up by 46.64% this week with a change of 71.55 points. It is traded with a net volume of 2.01 million shares. The share is currently trading at the price level of 320.3 against the previous closing price of 224.95. Meanwhile, the share price is trading above its moving average 154.15, which is a good indication for the stock. The stock has made the highest move to 236.75 points this week. Fino Payments Bank has moved up by 36.43% this week with a change of 67.95 points. It is traded with a net volume of 19.952 million shares. The share is currently trading at the price level of 254.95 thousand shares against the previous closing price of 187. Dish TV has moved up by 8.65% this week with a change of 1.7 points. It is traded with a net volume of 209.926 million shares. The share is currently trading at the price level of 21.35 against the previous closing price of 16.35. Meanwhile, the share price is trading above its moving average 17.15, which is a good indication for the stock. The stock has made the highest move to 21.6 points this week. Deccan Gold Mines has moved up by 26.79% this week with a change of 8.6 points. It is traded with a net volume of 1.397 million shares. The share is currently trading at the price level of 40.7 against the previous closing price of 32.1. Meanwhile, the share price is trading above its moving average 30.25, which is a good indication for the stock. The stock has made the highest move to 42 points this week. Basel International has moved up by 20.3% this week with a change of 5.35 points. It is traded with a net volume of 905 shares. The share is currently trading at the price level of 31.7 against the previous closing price of 26.35. Meanwhile, the share price is trading above its moving average 30.3, which is a good indication for the stock. Comfort Commatrade has moved up by 19.63% this week with a change of 3.17 points. It is traded with a net volume of 761.711 thousand shares. The share is currently trading at the price level of 19.32 against the previous closing price of 16.15. Meanwhile, the share price is trading above its moving average 13.85, which is a good indication for the stock. The stock has made the highest move to 20.84 points this week. Omkar Specialty Chemicals moved down by 15.38% this week with a change of 2.9 points. It is traded with a net volume of negative 462.999 thousand shares. The share is currently trading at the price level of 15.95 against the previous closing price of 18,815. Meanwhile, the share price is trading below its moving average 13.85, which is not a good indication for the stock. DCM Financial Service moved down by 13.1% this week with a change of 0.95 points. It is traded with a net volume of negative 88.177 thousand shares. The share is currently trading at the price level of 6.3 against the previous closing price of 7.25. Meanwhile, the share price is trading below its moving average 6.45, which is not a good indication for the stock. The stock has made the highest move to 7.6 points this week. Let's see the Nifty movement and expectations for the next week. For 3 sessions in a row, the index has made higher highs and higher lows, forming a doji-like pattern on the daily charts, reflecting uncertainty among bulls and bears about future market moves. As the index rose by more than 1% last week following a period of consolidation, a bullish engulfing pattern formed on the weekly time frame, and higher highs were set for the 6th week in a row. The index has maintained its cycle of higher highs and higher lows, decisively breaking its previous swing high on the chart. At the same time, the strong bullish candlestick pattern and lively market participation on the expiry date suggest an encouraging sign for the market. On the level front, the 18,000 to 18,200 level is expected to cushion a slight decline from the ongoing uptrend. At the same time, the index is well positioned to recapture the lifetime high zone and break new ground and possibly go higher. With the benchmark at a record high, an improvement in broader participation would play a crucial role in shaping the market trend. In addition, the developments in the global markets will continue to weigh on sentiment. We recommend following the trend and focusing on identifying the themes that could evolve alongside current leaders. Markets could react sharply on Monday if guided by overnight U.S. markets close on Friday. In the daily charts, Nifty 50 is trading in a higher high-higher bottom formation, and the extended upward movement in prices is suggesting a strong bullish trend. In the last few minor pullbacks, prices took support near their 21-day exponential moving average, and thereafter an immediate recovery was seen. Now the polarity rule is applied in Nifty, where previous resistance acts as instant support for the market. The momentum oscillator RSI on the daily chart has formed a bullish hidden divergence between 55 and 60 levels, after which the index started to climb higher with further strength. Technically, support for the index is near 18,200, and any move below this will extend the decline towards 18,000. Similarly, on the higher side, 18,700 will be the immediate resistance, followed by 18,900 levels. The Bank Nifty bulls came back in full force, beating the bears out of the 42,500 to 42,900 resistance zone on the last day of the week. It has seen a fresh breakout on the daily chart that is pushing it higher towards the 43,500 level in the near term. Lower support is now visible at 42,200, which will act as a buffer for the bulls. Broader participation in the markets is resuming, which is helping it scale at the top end. We believe Indian markets are trading in a positive trend, supported by strong corporate earnings, easing supply constraints, falling commodity prices, and strong demand across sectors. Investors should use any significant decline as a good opportunity to buy into these markets. Bank Nifty rose to a new high of 43,339 after opening at 43,192 on Friday. The index opened the day higher, but it gradually gave up those gains and slid up to 42,865, eventually settling with a loss of 91 points at 42,984 amidst volatility and the formation of a bearish candle on the daily charts. For the 3rd week in a row, it has formed a weekly bullish candle with a higher high and a higher low. As of right now, it needs to stay above 42,750 to continue its ascent to the 43,339 and 43,500 levels, with support coming in at 42,750 and 42,500. After a couple days of consolidation, the broader markets had a good day today. On the back of rising breadth, The Nifty Midcap 100 and Smallcap 100 both climbed by about 1%. In conclusion, Indian markets closed near the day's high last Friday. But global markets also closed on positive notes on the final day of the week. SGX Nifty closed above 18,500 levels. Technically, markets are looking strong, and based on the above key factors, we feel markets will remain positive next week.